What's up, team? Welcome back to the Squishy Joshy channel. I'm doing this video that is pretty overdue, but I'm still going to do it anyways. Yeah, we're basically going to be talking about the changes to Facebook, the company behind all these apps that you use like Instagram, WhatsApp, etc., is changing the name to Meta. That doesn't mean the Facebook app that millions of people have been using is going to be changing to Meta. The actual company, the head company, is changing to Meta. That's what you need to understand. Now, I haven't seen too much about this yet. I've opened up all these articles that we're going to dive into. So basically, this is going to be my first kind of look into it. It's about a month old since this was announced as well. So let's see what kind of thoughts I'm going to be coming up with as I look into these articles. And yeah, so I'm on this website now, printmag.com. Welcome to the Metaverse. The Facebook name has officially dropped and it's only a little bit dystopian. Introducing Meta. There's a little animation showing all the different apps that Facebook has, and they're kind of like merging it down into this one metaverse. So as you can see here, just above my head, that is the actual metaverse logo as a flat logo, which is what you should be going for when you're designing a logo. Something I'm not exactly 100% sold on is this overlapping element, but using a gradient to distinguish that it's supposed to be like a 3D space. Perhaps somewhere later in this video I'll explain how I would have approached it, just so it's more flat and 2D. You see, this logo is okay. Like, this logo is okay for that kind of thing, but there are other instances where you want your logo to be absolutely 2D, and that's because of printing reasons. So I kind of like what they've done here with these, these abstract expressions of the logo. So they're not the logo itself, but it's basically, something playful, but it's still the logo, if that makes sense. Like, it's related to the logo. Now, of course, Meta may be a scary thing to some people, but let's look further into it.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. Our company is now Meta.
He knows exactly what he's doing when he says that. Okay, so it's actually a pretty good choice of words, and I'm saying that as an ex-Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh a lot.
What's up, guys? This is Squishy Joshy. I'm here with my mates Lawrence,
What?
Michael over there, and Sega. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up a World Superstars booster box.
And there was all these metas, like what's the relevant and most overpowered deck of cards. He knows that Facebook is starting to get a little bit old, and obviously the name change is very forward thinking. Like, it's like, how do we set ourselves up for the next 10 to 20 years? And I think he's doing that with this. Okay, now I've got a whole bunch of different ideas and theories of where this could actually go. You just have to throw a couple of words out, like Tesla, cryptocurrency, metaverse. Those three words just by themselves are already kind of painting a picture of what the future is going to look like. As a designer, it's scary, but there's also so many different opportunities there for the creative space. But that also means we'll be having to learn a lot of new technologies, a lot of new ways and workflows to design things for these new spaces.
Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Hey, and welcome to Connect. Today, we're going to talk about starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. Things that are only possible virtually, and it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
So basically, you can probably end up living in like a little shack, like Bender from Futurama. You know how he had that little closed room?
There's a window in the closet.
That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from this. Like, you can just be in a small room. You can probably have like nothing, but you can have your headset and you've just designed this entire space for yourself. And one of my friends said this, it's like an Animal Crossing simulator. Once you're in there, it's like, well, what is reality and what is not? Is this your reality now? Like, are you going to be living in this virtual space and sort of just neglecting what's outside of that virtual space? It can be fun and gimmicky, but it would just be very interesting to see how people interact with that, especially as cryptocurrency becomes more of a thing, especially as Teslas become more of a thing. There's this whole like sort of autonomy going on and trying to be more a part of the digital space. It's like, you know, let's just forget about our problems on Earth. Let's create a digital space where everything seems perfect. If Facebook becomes this fully like VR experience, it's going to be very interesting to sort of visit your friends and see how they've decorated their places, what sort of things they're doing. I mean, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of fun. And what does that mean for business as well? What does it mean for online stores? Like, how crazy can you make your online store look in this sort of space? Kind of interesting to think about, but at the same time it's also kind of scary. And I also feel like the people that are kind of getting in now on like cryptocurrencies and NFTs, they're going to be absolutely at the top of whatever this is going to be. So I'm not a financial advisor or anything, but that's what I'm thinking. If you're starting to like invest in cryptocurrencies, I'm pretty sure you're going to have the advantage of whatever is coming with this metaverse.
Yeah, just got to find something to wear. All right.
Look at him acting like he's got more than one outfit.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater I met in LA.
So that suggests that someone can create a space, and then if someone else liked it, they can basically just copy that same space and use it as their own. That's almost like allowing plagiarism.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Hey, sorry I'm running late, but you gotta see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it.
That's kind of interesting. So the idea of bringing that AR art into another space for everyone else to see, that is kind of impressive.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. When you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting as well. The idea that your metaverse space could potentially be like a 24/7 live space that any of your friends could just come into. It's kind of interesting, but like at the same time, if you wanted to be alone, you could just take off your headset, right?
You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse.
And how?
Lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world.
Is that supposed to be a flex? I don't know about you, Mark, but I do like the cinema experience. You can call me a boomer if you want, but still not 100% sold. Like, there are some cool elements to this, not gonna lie, but...
Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of home. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together. Then there is Horizon Worlds. Build worlds and jump into them with people.
That kind of stuff would be really cool for the Squishyverse. And if you're not part of the Squishyverse, join now. Just kidding. Link is in the description. We do all sorts of fun stuff. If you're there, you get to be notified by all the things that I'm posting on all the different platforms. And you also get to join in community games and watch parties and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, check out the Discord server, the Squishyverse. Now back to the video.
I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that...
What if I don't want those interactions?
We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere, but hybrid is going to be a lot more complex.
You're 100% right about that, Mark. There are a couple of companies that I wouldn't mind working for actually, remotely, maybe. TikTok, Discord, if you're out there and you need a graphic designer. Anyways, back to the video.
I think this could be very positive for our society and economy, no matter where they live, and it'll be good for the environment.
Okay, so I'm not too sure about that, and it will be good for the environment. It's like you're taking out one thing and replacing it with another, right? And it's still not great.
And it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest.
So
ton of new tech going into Cambria.
It's all for the rich people.
For example,
I'm not included in that bracket.
And a diverse set of human facial features and skin tones.
When it comes to like skin tones and all that sort of stuff, what? Like hair color and eye color. Why can't you just have like a hue and saturation slider? And it would make life so much easier rather than just giving like a limited amount of choice. Like, I mean, if you're trying to go all out on this like digital space, might as well give freedom to customize your character however you want.
I'm really glad that we're focused on making it inclusive from the start.
We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world.
Totally
in a
understand
headset
what they're
with a
saying.
But the ultimate goal here is true augmented reality glasses. And we've been working on that too.
One thing I want to talk about is how the Metaverse logo kind of reminds me of other logos that are currently existing. Now, if you remember Skrillex's label OWSLA, or Owsla, I think it is, obviously it's different in its own right, but it's also got a similar concept. Kind of see an M in there, and it's also kind of looping. You've also got the Watchdog logos, which is very similar to that, so it's also got this kind of looping element and also a bit of an M, kind of a W, but again, another similar logo. Obviously, you've got your Mario Kart 8, which has a looping blue logo as well. If you were to just rotate it to the side, it would almost be the Metaverse logo as well. Of course, you've also got the ABC logo, which is the Australian Broadcasting Corporation logo as well, which also kind of has the same sort of look to the Metaverse logo, and they also did a similar artistic thing. So this is okay, as it's not like the main logo, it's sort of an artistic representation of it. But this is what I was trying to refer to when we're talking about like overlapping loops. So if we dive back quickly into the Metaverse logo, you can see how the way it loops is just kind of like one shape, right? But when we look at the ABC logo, you've got these lines that kind of separate where the overlaps are. And there's a reason for that, and it's because of printing. Okay, well, that's one of the main reasons, right? So if we didn't have these black lines that were separating the overlaps, it would kind of be a completely different shape, and we wouldn't necessarily know that it's an overlapping kind of loop. It might just look like a spring or an hourglass or a lolly or a candy wrapper. That's why in a lot of these logos, it's very important to be able to know what is going on, and sometimes you can only be able to tell that it is a looping effect if you've got lines in the appropriate places. Otherwise, you know, here, if we were to just make the Metaverse logo like a solid black color, you wouldn't know. It'd be just a sideways 8. You wouldn't really know that there's like a 3D sort of aspect to the logo. That's what I'm trying to say. And of course, if you look here, there's a lot of, you know, these ribbon logos are not unique. And it's very hard to get a unique logo nowadays as well. But there are so many companies that have done the whole ribbon thing. It's interesting to see what Mark Zuckerberg has done with their logo. Like, it basically is something we've seen before. It's just kind of slightly tweaked. It's probably loosely inspired by all these Marvel movies that have been coming out recently as well. We've looked at pros and cons to this rebrand, but there are a lot of people that are making fun of it. And I think whenever there's a big company making like a huge change like this, there's always going to be people making fun of it, people making memes about it. And I think unless it's really like mind-blowingly good, there's just no way you'll be able to avoid these kinds of memes. Facebook changed its name to Meta because it's self-aware as hell. Oh, the BRB changing our name. Better. Metal. Feta. I wonder who that could be. On Google, by the way, Meta. Oh, we're using our made-up names. Then I'm Alphabet. Anyways, I'm sure there's more, but I don't want this video to drag out too long. This is Tredica, by the way. You should go check out his Twitch page. To wrap up this video, let's quickly take a look at this one last little Metaverse thing they've got going on here.
This is the dimension of imagination.
Gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't know if it's like, I feel like it's gonna be creepy as well. Like, think about that. Like, if you're just like, what if you didn't realize you were like in the Metaverse? Like, for some reason you were just tripping out, like you just thought you were like in a normal space, and you're just walking along, you see this like painting on the wall, then all of a sudden it starts moving, and then you start tripping out like that. If things started moving like that around us, and we thought that we were in a like actual like reality, and it's like, oh wait, we just had the glasses on, but it would just be crazy, right? Just thinking about it. I don't know. Anyways, those are some of my thoughts as a creative, as a designer, looking into the metaverse for the very first time. This video was delayed by about a month, but I finally got to it, so I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, if you want to see more design and creative entertainment, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.